Good morning, everybody. How are you doing this fine and beautiful day? As you can see, the green is back out in my existence, which is wonderful. And I'm so excited about spring being here. Hey, Deb, great to see you today. So, today it's Friday, and I have been thinking a lot about the negative thought processes that have been around everywhere lately. Hey, Kathy. And one of the big pop things in personal growth and self-help and all that other neat stuff is that people have been talking about these big, giant, dramatic terms like, you know, uh, energy vampires and toxic people. And hey, Jan, I know it's Friday. How exciting is that? People love to use these big, giant terms that freak everybody out. And you know what? When you look at somebody and you look at them and you think they're an energy vampire, I just need to stay away from them. Hey, Catherine, you know what? Guess what? Some days you're the energy vampire. Some days you're the narcissist. Some days you're the toxic person because we all are human beings with a wide variety of issues going on. Now, I know people use the term toxic people and energy vampires and things like that in order to, get us out of our, big, giant, compassionate, reactionary, it's my fault. Hey, Dina, and get out of that fight or flight pattern. It's like a way to slap you in the face and say, okay, it's an energy vampire. It's not your fault. Now, as wonderful and good as it is to place blame, as wonderful as it feels to say, aha, I know the problem is you. And so now I don't have to worry about it anymore. That's a good step because it takes a little bit of pressure off. But what takes even more pressure off is looking at someone as a whole human being, as somebody who has a wide variety of issues going on. Because when we go along and we just start labeling people, as toxic or energy vampires or things like that, we put them in a box, just like everybody's putting us in a box, and none of us want to be put in a box. We're looking at other people and we're deciding for them and putting a label on them and dismissing them. When you really care about somebody, and we should have a level of caring for the people in our lives. I mean, we're a community, we're interconnected, we're a family that's together of human beings. When we start looking at each other as human beings with issues and baggage to unpack, rather than, all of these labels, aha, I know what's wrong with them, they're a narcissist. Aha, I know what's wrong with them, they're just toxic. When we do that, it in the end, hey, Rochelle and Jamie, it makes it harder on us. It makes our lives harder when we start labeling each other. It's a natural thing that our brain wants to do. We want to compartmentalize. We want to decide where things go. But then we're not really problem solving the situation. Hey, Barbara, a lot of times, the toxic people and the energy vampires, we work with them. We can't fire them. We can't get rid of them. Or we have a good reason for being around them. Maybe we're married to them, or they're our kids, or, a friend that we've had forever, or our Alzheimer dementia mom that we're living with, or a dad that's getting older and crankier, as that happens. These are people that we have in our lives. And when we label them and dismiss them, we're doing ourselves a disservice because it means that we aren't continuing to look for what is going on here? What's really happening? Why is this happening? What can I do about it? It doesn't mean that, many times what we do is we can label people the other way. If you're in a healing profession or, a really nice person or super compassionate or you want to be, up at this higher level of guruism, where everybody is light and love. That's true. Everybody is light and love. However, when we don't look at people as through a compassionate lens, both their light and their dark, the good and the bad, all the different aspects of them, then we take away our power of having anything that we really can do about the situation. Because instead of truly understanding what might be going on and helping them and helping ourselves, hey, Kelly, instead what we're doing is we're saying, aha, this is your fault. I'm just going to avoid you and ostracize you and emotionally isolate you and do all of these other things to you. I'm never going to connect with you or tell you how I'm thinking or feeling because you are, the devil. you are this bad person with these bad characteristics and you just need to be gone. But a lot of these people, we are all the toxic people sometimes. We're all the energy vampires and the mind suckers and the polarized people. That's the human condition. We have those qualities and we have those aspects. When we notice them about ourselves, when we can say, you know what, sometimes I am an energy vampire, especially when I'm feeling needy, especially when, I'm feeling vulnerable or tired. When you own it, you can do something about it. And one of the best ways of understanding and navigating this stuff is when you look at other people, it gives you just a little bit of objectivity, doesn't it? Because it's not you. You're not the one going through it. And so with that objectivity, you can really kind of look to see, oh, what's going on? Oh, I notice that if they eat lunch, hey, Sandra Ann, if they eat lunch, they're happier after lunch. Or I notice that if I greet them with a warm welcome, then their energy shifts. They treat me differently than they treat other people. When we can look at things with that objective but compassionate eye, it means that we stay in our rational mind and we can actually help one another and we can help ourselves. So then when we're the energy vampire, when we're the toxic person, we can say, oh, I'm noticing this. What do I want to do about it? Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I'm thirsty. Maybe I need somebody to talk to. And that's when, like me, you find a psychologist that you see every week so that you can unload and unburden. Somebody who can walk with you through this journey. We have these high expectations of each other to be perfect, to not impose upon us, to not hurt our feelings, to not do bad things, to not lose our mind, to not have any issues. But the problem is when we want to avoid everybody who has issues, it means we avoid everybody. Because you have just as much baggage to unpack as somebody else. You just might not be as familiar with theirs, and you might be kind of judgmental. Yes, keep an objective but compassionate mind. So take away your judgmentalism for the other people, for yourself, and start looking at this as in what's going on, what can we do about it, what don't I know, what don't I understand. And the neat thing is when we start asking those questions, we actually then can let it go. Because our subconscious mind will start to look for the answer. That's our new goal, How can we find what is going on here? When we have a good attitude, a curiosity of wanting to understand something without that anger and judgment and toxic and vampire and, these real inflammatory words. When we stay open and curious, then the solutions arrive. They almost always do, because our conscious mind is 2 to 3 tablespoons of gray matter. It's not a lot of our brain. The real supercomputer of our brain is our subconscious and our unconscious and our nervous system and our heart and our gut. That's the supercomputer. All the bacteria going on, they all have their own opinions and wisdom and suggestions and understanding. It's not our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is just the school bus driver that's trying to keep the kids in back from throwing the cupcakes at each other. That's what our conscious mind is. All of this other stuff is going on. But when we bring it on board and we come at a situation with curiosity and openness, both for the other person and for ourselves, then we can problem solve what's going on. We can make good decisions. And yeah, sometimes you got to leave. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, this person's problems are way bigger than I can handle. Absolutely, positively. But a lot of those people we're stuck with for whatever reason. Whatever reason they're in our lives. And for now, we need to try to make our lives easier by figuring it out and figuring out how we can engage with them and with ourselves in order to create a nicer, kinder world that we live in. Okay? So your homework assignment for today is to find somebody that you don't like. All right? And look at them through an objective but compassionate mind. And ask yourself the question, I wonder what's really going on underneath the surface. I wonder what baggage they have to unpack. And you'll never truly find all of the answers because we're all so individual and unique. And mental and emotional health is really complex. Hey, Ann, but what you can do is you can start to question. And as you keep questioning, the answers will keep coming. The solutions will keep coming. And you will find it easier and easier and easier and easier to get along with this person because you'll understand them better. You'll finally have an idea of what it's like to walk in their shoes. And you will start to understand how to navigate being in a relationship with them, as well as help them navigate being in a relationship with themselves. You know, you have a power and an influence. And when you stay in that higher power, that to me is the higher power, when we're so integrated that we're getting information from all over the place. Our higher power is us connected to the world, us connected to everything that is. That's our higher power. And when we connect into that higher power, which includes our mind, includes our subconscious, includes our heart, then we start to find the solutions to unravel the big problems that make us nuts and make this world a really harsh, difficult place to live in. You know, if you don't start being compassionate, objective, and kind, then guess what? Nobody else will find a real good reason to do it either. So remember, homework assignment: find somebody you don't like. Pick somebody medium. Don't pick somebody that totally makes you crazy. Okay, start easy. Don't overwhelm yourself. And start questioning and being curious about what's going on underneath the surface. And one day you'll wake up and you say, I get it. Now I understand. All right. And that's how we grow and evolve as people. That's how you get unstuck from your own insanity, is through curiosity and compassion. Okay? So I will see you Monday. I'm so looking forward to it. And have a great weekend. If you love this, please comment, share, comment on other people's comments. This is a safe space for us all to be welcome and kind and loving and supportive and nurturing and share our wisdom. And the more you do that, the more engaged and excited and validated I get, so that I can keep being the anchor for this tribe, and being at least a touch point that we can keep coming back on track. Okay? Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Bye.